Along with my regional head, Naveen Charlie and Anthony. This is a team that have come from ICICI. And we have taken the consultation with a renowned chartered accountant, Babu Kalwaile. Let's give him a warm welcome. He is obliged to be part of us and give you a short introduction on how to start up a company and the financials involved with it, because it's just not starting a company will not help you unless you know your financials. So that's why startup Mr. George, who is here now, and Gautam had recommended to us to take up this workshop. So I welcome each one of you for this workshop. Thank you.
Good morning to all of you. My good friend Ms. Preeti Uttup has made me to join me to work with you all in this morning. Is getting the corporate wing at the ICICI Bank at Cochin. George Ford, who is the director of Startup Village. Naveen Charlie is the regional head, sales of ICICI Bank. Anthony, manager ICICI Bank. And my colleague from my office, Chartered Accountant Martin, and all distinguished invitees. I'm extremely delighted to be here with you this morning. And I readily accepted the invitation of Preeti, because this is what I do so that's my profession. But as far as business is concerned, I think I will be a baby because I don't do business. That reminds me of a story of Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was busy traveling. And while traveling in the train, he felt quite hungry. And one of the stopovers, he got down and straightaway went to the vendor. What can I have? And the vendor immediately gave the menu card to Albert Einstein. Yes, Joseph Kiriyarapudi, my good friend, who is the king of solar energy. And the vendor gave the menu card to the Albert Einstein. Then only Albert Einstein realized that he left the spectacles in the train. And he returned the menu card to the vendor and requested him, "Can you read it for me?" And the vendor immediately replied, "Sir, I am also an illiterate like you. So as far as business is concerned, I think I will compare myself with the vendor." And I think I will give you a brief walkthrough on the various forms of business organizations where you can enter out when you start your business. And what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? Probably I would like to spend more time on clarifying your queries on all the issues. And with that, we will take it forward. Basically, we have 4 forms of organization and legal framework which is available in the country. The simplest of the form is proprietary. I, as an individual, I straightaway start with my business, which we call it as a proprietary business. And the second one is a partnership. Few of my friends or relatives, we join together and form a partnership, which is regulated by the Indian Partnership Act. And the recent version is limited liability partnerships, which is neither a corporate form nor a partnership. It is a midway, what we call it as LLP. And there is a joint stock companies which we call it, either it can be a private limited company or a public limited company. And let us see what are the advantages of various forms so that you will be able to decide what is the form which you. As I said, this is the most simplest of the form. No registration. You start, today I want to start my business, you start your business, that's it. Nothing else. Probably the trade license which will be required from the corporation or the municipality or the panchayat, that may be. Then whatever be the business you are into, you are going to have the licenses. Barring that, to start with the business, the trade license which is given by the local authority, that is the only registration which may be required, because whether you can, the only thing they need to have, you have to tell the local authority what is your business address and what is the proof. If it is your own premises, give a copy of the document. If it is a leased premises, give a copy of the leased document. And easy to operate, you are the king, you are the boss. You need not consult anyone to take any decisions. And no specific statutory compliance other than the filing of your tax and VAT returns. Other than that, there is no specific form, statutory compliance. And as I said, flexibility in operations, because you yourself busy. And actually there is no designation processes. If you want to stop the business, you can stop either you consciously stop it or it dies now. That's two options.
So this invalidity.
There is nothing, no formalities. As like in the case of a human death, you have to register with the local authority. Here there is birth and death is not registered. That is, therefore, you don't have an address. Then an outsider is very skeptical in dealing with, and there is no setup. I don't know what kind of business, there is nothing, no document, what we are going to do, what is the form. That's why, though it is so simplest, no stranger will be, or no outsider will be, may not be interested to deal with you. Because they want a setup, where I am financing, what you are doing, what is your intentions, what is your framework. Basically, the disadvantage with the proprietary form is you don't have a framework. You can operate on your own, but I am not interested in it. Therefore, we come to the next slide.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Can we apply for team and or if
Yeah. Your individual name. Your as far as the proprietary is concerned, your business and your individual are synonymous.
So do we need a business name also?
You can. If you want to have, you can see, for example, Bombay Conveyor Company Chartered Accountants. It can even be a proprietary firm.
But we can have a team that
Yeah. And you will be the operator. Take it. Disadvantage is that individual and proprietary business, as I said, it is synonymous, unlimited liability. See, we have come across with several cases where huge liabilities from the sales tax department, excise department comes, and finally he vanished, not only from his business. There are cases people file bankruptcy petition, so that otherwise he cannot sleep, because every day there will be some issues. Therefore, this is the biggest disadvantage. There is no distinction between you and your business. In a business, you may take several decisions. Every decision need not be correct. That's why, otherwise every businessman would have been. But those who have been able to take prudent decisions are the successful ones. But still, and limited resources. See, basically when I operate on my own, no third party will be interested to fund you. You will be taking some private loans. Yeah, wherever else you go, what is your deal? What is your framework? Then only I am interested to deal with you. And not suitable for large scale business or like you want to have expansions. then you have to go for different formula. Let us see what is advantages of partnership. Partnership also, it can be either a normal partnership or it can be a return partnership with a return partnership team. Partnership Act allows you to have even a normal partnership. Say today, myself and Preeti decides to join for a business. Okay, that's a partnership. We decide our terms, but there is no documentation. When other than relatives, say husband and wife join together, okay, there is no return framework is required. Therefore, they form a partnership. Whereas when a third party walks in, naturally I will also like to, tomorrow I want to join your business as a partner. I want to know what are the terms and conditions, what is my role, what are the responsibilities. Therefore, I would say, okay, fine, we need a return partnership deed. The biggest disadvantage of that will come, registration is not compulsory. You can, even with a return partnership deed, as far as the Partnership Act is concerned, the registration is optional. You can or you need not. But what is the consequence of non-registration? Non-registration, there is a grave consequence. Everyone can, in case of a dispute or an issue, every other person can file a suit against you. But partnership cannot file a suit against anyone because there is no registered partnership. Therefore, to that extent, registration is mandatory. Because the partnership records, unless and until you register your partnership, there is no such entity. Then profits and losses are shared. You decide what is your profit. See, even one can only say, I will only share profits, I will not take losses. You can decide. It's a mutual agreement. Then every partner can contract for the firm unless specifically allowed. This is one of the biggest disadvantages of a partnership. See, we have 10 partners. You join, 10 of you join and start up a business. Tomorrow, without any of you joining, I go for a settlement. Okay, fine, I decided. Or I enter into a sale agreement. It is valid. Any partner can do anything for the firm unless he is specifically barred from doing so in the partnership. And it's very difficult to name out everything, list out everything this partner, then there is no partnership because partnership is also based on mutual trust. If you are going to say, I cannot do that, I cannot do this, then there is no partnership because there is no trust between you. Therefore, an issue comes. One partner acts not, you are in trouble. It is legally binding before the court of law. Therefore, this is one of the biggest disadvantages of, again, like proprietary, it is unlimited liability. It extends to all the partners' individual assets. All statutory liabilities or anything, even a personal liability. Even a firm has taken a private loan, I can get an order from the court to attaching any partner. That is the one. See, income tax department that times acts very smart. See, there is a tax arrears of 1 crore rupees. He can take it, attach the property of one other partner. They need not spread it out even out. It is their choice. Because for them it is very easy. Okay, fine, he is a very rich partner. It is very easy to attach the property of the FDR and put it for auction. Matter is all. Then it is the partner's turn to file a suit against his individual colleague partners to recover that money. And you know how long it will take. Therefore, that is one of the biggest disadvantages of partnership. And I said action of one partner is binding on other partners, no structured setup. Again, see, other than the partnership deal, see, that's the only thing. But you cannot define and put everything into the partnership deal. Therefore, greater possibilities of function due to difference of opinion. What happens many times? I have seen partnership 25 years getting closed because of difference of opinion for partners. Because again, more or less, my partnership and my partners are more or less same. Like a proprietary center. Cannot accept deposit from public as a partnership. Non-banking financial companies act prohibits. That's why all this money lending firms in the country, especially in Kerala, went into deep trouble. They used to mobilize a lot of deposits from the public, except deposit and they lend. But no more they can. But definitely people find their own ways, isn't it? Partner can individually borrow and put it into the cost. That's right. Therefore, when an outsider comes, again I feel there is no formal setup. Audit, if you want to do the audit, if you do the audit, it is there. If you don't do the audit, who is there to question you? There is no one to question you. I cannot see your balance sheet and profit and loss account. There is no way. Therefore, I don't know whether it is true or not. True or correct. Therefore, when a stranger, especially a banker or a third party and a regulatory agency, when they want to deal with you, they have or if I want to enter into an MOU with another corporate, yes, they will say first you get to say yours as a corporate employees. Because I don't know what is your framework and how you are going to operate. Therefore, when you are thinking of a larger size, that's why we go for a corporate form. Because corporate form is a fully structured form of business.
So you want to register a partnership for what is it?
If your share partnership capital is less than 2,000 rupees, the stamp duty payable is 100 rupees. If anything above 2,000, stamp duty payable is 1,000 rupees. May purchase a stamp in one of the partners' name, make out a partnership fee. That's it.
And where is the registry?
Register of firms at Trivandrum. There is a register of companies in Kerala, like for the companies, there is a register of firms for the partnerships.
See, normally, so that partnership need not be registered. So
Need not be registered. Therefore, you won't be knowing whether they are registered or not. But since you being a third party, if I am dealing with you, I am not at risk, even if you are not registered.
So that registration, if it's in the company name, how do we get the company name allocated?
You decide. That's why same partnerships can be there. There is no restriction because there is no clearance required to register a partnership. Unlike when we see to the company registration, the first step is to get a approval, a clearance of the registrar of companies. Whether any company with this name or any company with a similar name or which can be related. Say tomorrow I want to start a company, Reliance Software Private Limited. These are companies not allowed. Even if Reliance Software Private Limited is not there, because they will say it is synonymous with an established group. Therefore, partnership, that's why there can be more and more issues. Because same partnership, the same name can be 10 number of cases, 10 places it can be. Nobody can do it.
But if you go for TM, then that one is
TMS. Once you register TMS, the name is used. Okay. Then, limited liability partnership. This is a very recent version. We are passed the legislation around less than 2 years back in India. But this has been there and outside India. But India it has been. And it has been put in such a way that it is a midway. Neither it is a partnership nor it is a company. And because of that, I am telling you, hardly it took off in the market. Because you have got all the rigors of a company, but you don't have the advantages of a company. And we will come to that. A legal entity separate from its partners. See, hitherto we are seeing partnership and proprietary, business and the partners or the proprietor are same, one and the same. There is not. Whereas when it comes to LLP and a corporate form or a company, You and your business is totally different. You had nothing to do with your business. You may be managing. You are the managing director. I am only the managing director. My company is different. You are. That's because LLP and the company itself is a legal entity. And this is not business. You as an individual is a legal entity. Partnership is a legal entity. But both you and your proprietor is same legal entity. As far as partnership is concerned, partners and partnership is the same entity. Whereas it comes to LLP, it is a separate legal entity. No upper limit on the number of partners. See, in India, you can be only 20 partners. If you are aided with the power, otherwise it is only 10. Therefore, there is a specific limitation on the number of partners you can admit. Maximum is 20. Whereas, when it comes to LLP, there is not a number of partners can be admitted as partners. That is an advantage. Same is a position with the public limited company. Whereas, restriction on private limited company which we have. Liability to the partners is limited to their agreed contribution to the LLP. And when I joined as a partner, I decided I agree upon. I will contribute 10 lakhs. My 10 lakhs is whether this business is successful or failure. End of the day, my stake is only 10 lakhs. Nothing beyond that will come to me. It will not affect my personal assets. It will not affect my relatives' assets, my parents' assets, my wife or children. Nowadays, involved. That's it. Therefore, you take a calculated risk. Nothing beyond. Then, no partnership partner will be liable on account of unauthorized actions of other partners. We are seen in the normal partnership. But here there is a structured setup. Everything has to be through a resolution. And unless and until it is approved by the majority, it doesn't become applicable to you. Therefore, you know this is happening. Whereas, in the case of other partners, he has entered into an agreement at Delhi without consulting any other partners. And it is binding on the partnership. Therefore, there is a structured setup. And what are the disadvantages? As I told you, it's not very popular because of the rigors. See, as like in the company, you have to file, you have to get a clearance on the name from the registrar of companies. See, here the administering authority is the registrar of companies for the LLPs too. And all your returns, all your balance sheet, audited accounts, your statement of partners, who are the partners, everything has to be filed with the registrar of companies and more interestingly, the late fee for LLP delayed filing is much more than the companies. I don't know why they made it like that. And one of the major reasons is you don't have the flexibility and you don't have all the advantages of a company. Then why should I go for a LLP? Even as business advisors, we don't also advise you on the formation of LLP. If you are going for LLP, we will rather say better you go for a private limited company. See, one, your status is different. See, in each form is also attached with your status. When I say I am a proprietor, partnership, LLP, then it becomes a company. Therefore, your status attached to an easiness of dealing with that third party becomes much more comfortable. Then filing fee and additional filing fee cannot accept deposit from public. Again, other than from partners you cannot take it. Therefore, this is one of the, whereas a private limited company can take any amount of deposit from its shareholders. Therefore, that is the biggest advantage for as far as funding is concerned. Joint stock company. Joint stock company can be either a private company or a public limited company. We will see what is it has got a registered office You have to intimate the registrar of companies, where is my office. Therefore, I know where this company's office is. Even if I am not able to trace any other directors, I know this is the registered office of the company. And if they shift, even if they want to shift out of the district, they have to give an advertisement in the vernacular Hindi and in English daily. And if they want to shift outside the state, they have to take the permission from both the registrar companies and also put an advertisement in the state where it is presently operating as well as where it is going to operate. Therefore, we know where this company is moving. And there is a memoranda association. Memoranda association is nothing but it is my charter. What I am intending to do. What is my business? I form a company for software development. Tomorrow I cannot open up I cannot completely venture out into a hoteliering business. Because this company has been formed for the exclusive purpose of software development. That's what I told my shareholders when I wanted to admit them. Whereas in the case of LLP, partnership and proprietary, you decide. All the partners can decide. Tomorrow, okay, fine, I don't want to do this business. I will go something else. Therefore, for third party, I had entered into an MOU with you. As far as LLP, partnership and proprietary, I know you can vanish or you can change your line anytime. Whereas for a company, I know you cannot do that. Therefore, whereas, along with your software development, that is my main objective, what we call it as main object. Along with your main object, you can do any other business. But without stopping my main object. There are cases where a company has been formed in UK. See, basically we are a replica of the UK Companies Act. And they started a company to manufacture and market coffee. Then down the line the directors found that the coffee market is slowing down. Therefore they decided to discontinue the coffee manufacturing and went for tea manufacturing. And one of the shareholder or even a third party who is dealing with you can file a binding petition. And court ordered to bind them because you told all your shareholders it is cheating. You said you are going to manufacture. My business is business of coffee. Today now you are not into that business at all, and now you are getting into the business of tea. Okay, that is not. Had you been going into tea, I would not never invested in your shares. That's the point.
So can't we amend the?
You can amend.
About both the options, if they are mentioned in the memorandum,
everything. See, that's what. See, we got the main object. Along with the main object, we form also the other objects. Normally, previously in the registrar companies, we used to put everything under the earth in the other objects. Now they put a restriction. You can have only maximum 10 different other objects only in the forming. But you can amend. You can amend the main object of the company. But the main object of the company, object clause or memorandum or articles, if you want to amend, you have to take the 3/4 majority of the AGM. I know for all the shareholders. Yeah, that's why I am a party. You cannot do all tamashas. At all the AGM, you have to circulate. This is what I am looking to do. Then the 3/4 majority, if all the shareholders say, okay, fine, you change. You will understand this business. Therefore, I am also a stakeholder. That's why we call it as stakeholders. I am a stakeholder in the company. I am a shareholder. I am not only a shareholder, I am also a stakeholder. Therefore, I know this is structured framework in which you can operate. You cannot go beyond that. And your articles of association is your rules and regulations. And both these are mandatory. You can decide. There is a standard format which is given under the Companies Act. You can even adopt that. There is a table. And say, fine, I my rules and regulations will be as per the Companies Act. Or you can